therapy session, dealing with pain and obsession. Why do we lie? Why do we try to hide everything until the day we die? Welcome to Therapy Session. We are here in the house of DNA, and this is Parose.
This is Jear Perry.
Welcome to our podcast. It's about getting to know the artist, who we are, what we do, and what we stand for. So, introduce yourself.
My name is Parose. I'm 23 years old, born and grown up in Berlin. And I'm rapping, I'm producing. I'm pretty much here since the day one.
You mean with DNA?
With DNA.
Okay.
And one of the founders members. And yeah, I love music. I love rap music. I love engineering. And I love to stay in contact with other artists, be on stage, and just have the connection to the audience. Yeah.
Okay.
I love everything about it.
What language do you rap?
Mostly in German.
Okay. So it's your native language.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Tell me about your songs. What is the content of your songs?
Most of the time, it's I'm playing with genres.
Okay.
But if we go to the content of the lyrics, it's mostly some deep stuff, stuff I think about a lot, stuff which contains my life experiences. And yeah, it's most of the time it's pretty sad. And yeah.
It's pretty sad.
It's pretty sad.
Okay, because I've heard a few of your songs. They're bouncy, like yeah. Maybe the lyrics are, but like
the lyrics are sad. It doesn't have to be sad like in the sound. It's just sad in the lyrics. You know, if you read in between the verses, it's just like some lines are pretty deep into my life, pretty deep into my most sad moments, my most depressive moments, and
so it comes all from an emotional place.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. You're an emotional person?
I definitely am. I mean, my last album is called Bipolar.
Okay.
You know where I'm coming from, and also I'm experienced in therapy sessions in another way.
Okay.
And yeah, I just try to be a better person throughout the music. I just try to develop myself, develop the music, and grow with everyone around me.
What's your motivation? What's your drive behind the songs that you do?
That's a tough question, actually. I would say somehow it's just my way to calm down my emotions, to calm down my soul, and to be in touch with a lot of people. Because even if I'm not that big as an artist now, you know, like from audience perspective, I just love to see like 20 people around me who like my stuff. And every time I am on stage, I record a track, I'm just genuinely happy, you know.
Okay.
I'm happy that I can do what I love, and I'm happy that I can make my money out of it. And
so if I understand it correctly, like one of your drives is like to bring people together and trigger a feeling inside of them. Because I know when you had your album release party, there was one specific fan of yours who's listening to your music and who came over, and I think this was one of the most happiest moments.
Yeah, it is
that I witnessed.
Yeah, it is a day one fan. He's listening to my music since basically the day one when I was Panic MC as an artist.
Panic MC.
Panic MC. And
so check out Panic MC. Is it still available as Panic MC or no?
A few songs are on YouTube because I did battle tournaments.
Wow, okay.
Like battle rap tournaments. And I won like 2, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't recommend the songs because the mix is trash. And
is it like the one that I think so recently you were going through some of your old songs and you didn't like how you sounded like, but
yeah, because I just pushed my voice. It wasn't like natural. It was like I tried to be more gangster in my vocal. I wasn't rapping the way I could rap. I was like pushing my voice into this and strong, 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 and it was like no, it was not beautiful. It's
it
just
wasn't
like
natural.
yeah, it was pressing. It was unnatural. Just not, you you listen to it and you were like, okay, it's not professional.
Yeah, I've been kind of through the same thing. When I started rapping, I was, I think, about 14 years old. And the main songs that I was listening to, or the main music I was listening to was Tupac. So his voice is kind of deep. So when I was rapping, I was trying to somehow imitate his voice. It was like, and the first thing that I was like doing was like, "Come with me," like like the Hail Mary song. So I know, maybe, how old were you when you started?
I was like 13 when I started writing.
Okay.
I mean, I wrote rap songs in Germany we say Kinderzimmer, and was like your posters everywhere of Sido and Kollega and some of other German rappers, and I was like a stand for German rap. But also my biggest dream was to be a rock star, like in the
like proper rock music.
Rock music.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't got the vocals for rock music, so I just took a step back and was like, okay, then I have to rap.
Well, I've heard if you drink enough Hennessy, that will like. Don't do that though.
Yeah. And then with 16, I started as Panic MC.
Okay.
I told before. And
why Panic?
Why? Like the panic.
Yeah, but why? Why the name? You were panicking about something in your life and you just came up with that name, or what was it?
Actually, I would lie if I tell you something, but
tell me the truth, man.
I don't know the truth.
It's a therapy
actually,
session, man.
It's too long ago, bro. I'm like, I thought like this whole idea of being gangster and ghetto and being a drug dealer was like, okay, I have to get a name which is evil. And I was like,
okay,
if I go into the room, you get Panic.
Okay,
something like that.
I get it. Because you were a drug dealer or what?
Yeah, the ones who know me in person and the ones who know my music for a long time know that I had issues with criminal acts.
Okay, but this is in the past.
It is in the past.
Okay.
Like I'm sober. I was drug addicted for 6 years.
Wow.
So up to 6 years, like from 14 to 20, approximately.
Addicted to what?
Cocaine.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then I just got into a rehab in Charité, and that was in 2020 in January, and since then I'm sober.
Was it your decision to go to rehab, or how was it?
Part of it, not at all, because I had a good friend, which I mentioned in a few songs of mine. Alles wird gut.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about someone. She's called Leah, and she died of cancer. Yeah, and she was like my biggest motivation to go to the rehab. And after I did the rehab, she died.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was the last goal.
So she was, like, metaphorically speaking, waiting. She was by your side until you got clean and sober, and then
she was just there to see that I go a good way, that I come out of it, can come out of it, and I did. And like 1 month after I did the rehab, she died off of it.
Wow.
That was pretty hard. It was pretty tough. I was just crying like for 1 year straight up, and yeah.
How long has it been since then?
4 years now.
4 years.
It was in end of January 2020.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah. Now, as you know, history repeats itself.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with my mom now, and it's pretty horrible. But I try to be strong. That's
so,
just what I say.
but like they say, some things we go through in life, once we go through it again, is easier. But I'm guessing in that case, it's not really easy, right?
It's not getting easier at all. I would say it's just like you get used to some things, but if I drive to the hospice from my mom, and I see her crying, or I see how she's struggling with getting up and struggling with eating, I don't feel like I can be happy anymore. But throughout the day, when I go home, I just forget about it a bit, and I think it's like coping.
Okay.
Just my head just fades it away, and
it's like fine. Shutting off everything, and then
so I don't have to think about it anymore. You know, that's how you learn to deal with it. Because if I would constantly think about all of that, I would like just break down.
Wow.
And that's pretty much it.
Wow. Okay. How's it for you, like, to talk about these things? What it does it to you emotionally?
It somehow hurts, but it's also good to speak about it, like in an open context, you know, because in private I talk a lot about it, like with friends, like with the DNA members who are the closest with me, and I have big support all around. You know, DNA is my family. Like every Cardi is a big impact right now. Every friend around me, just out of DNA, is a blessing for everything. And so I just try to find my way, and I'm glad that I can talk about the whole thing today.
Nice. Like, it's maybe not comparable, but I'm coming from war, so I have seen a lot of people dying around me who were close. At some point in life, it was just like getting used to losing people. It was like somehow waiting for it to happen. I mean, it's different now since I'm living in Europe and seeing the things, how life can be. Because back then, when we were like in war, it was different. We didn't know how life is going to be. It was like, okay, today we live, tomorrow we're gonna die. It was like that. I mean, like the feeling is, every feeling that we go through is kind of similar, but for each person, I think, rooted differently.
You know what I think about that? It's just like, you know, if we struggle with pain, we all think like our pain is the biggest pain.
Definitely, yeah. In that moment.
That moment, yeah. But like there's always a bigger problem that we can like make out. And so I don't know how it is if I constantly talk about it. You know, I feel guilty to just get on nerves from some people.
Like to put the weight on someone else's shoulder, maybe, yeah.
So I just keep it in my heart, I keep it in my mind, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to talk about it because I just don't want to get your head in stress, you know.
But some people are more prone to withhold this pressure and are more stable, maybe emotionally. You can talk to me about it, man, every day.
Yeah, I know. But it's, you know, if you have it in your head, it's just like hard to accept the fact that people can help you.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I'm dealing with it on my own because I'm strong and I'm blah, 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 blah. You know, you just talk to yourself like you're the strongest person, even if you're not. And you tell everyone you are fine, even if you're not fine. And I mean, I don't know why I do that because throughout my whole past, I mean, I struggled through a lot of shit, and I never got rid of these attitudes to say I can deal it with myself.
So, you know, in psychological terms, they say we are all programmed to behave a certain way. So it's like a software that got installed in our brain at an age, and that's why we talk a certain way, we behave and think a certain way. And once what was he? He was like a life coach. He told me you have to reprogram yourself to be able to think and talk different.
Yeah, I would say, if I look back what kind of person I was in 2020 and what a kind of person I am now, it's a whole different person. I grew up. I'm more mature now. And, everyone says, yeah, I'm totally mature, but you never learned out.
Yeah, definitely not.
I mean,
life is like school.
I mean, you're way older than me. Sorry to expose.
It's so good though.
But I mean, I'm 23.
I'm 36.
36. Yeah. So you have a lot more. You have seen a lot more things in general than I did. Even if I have seen a lot, I mean, I can do 13 years more out of it, and so it's like I can.
So I'll be always ahead of you, though.
A bit, yeah. I would say that. Just, but it's not just. It's also how you deal with that more experience, because there are a lot of people who are like, "Yeah, I'm a better person because I'm older."
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's not true. You know, like we treat ourselves with respect, and that's what I like at this place.
Yeah,
because you can be 40 and still be respected from me, and I get respected from you, and that's
definitely. There was a time in my life where I was completely depressed about everything, and I was searching for the meaning of life. So I was reading a lot of books, and I still couldn't find the meaning. So one day I was just strolling through the streets and got into a park, and there were some old people sitting there. And I just thought to myself, let me talk to them. And when I got to these people and we started talking, first of all, they were a bit afraid I looked very different. I wore like baggy pants and all of these things. So they thought I want to mug them first. But at some point, they were very cute old ladies. And then we talked about life and their experience and all of that. So then they told me, like in every book that is written, you choose what's the meaning of life for you. But what else they told me is, if the youth would listen to us, maybe some of their problems will just disappear or dissolve. So coming back to, some people say, I already know everything, just leave me alone.
I mean, older people did mistakes, and they can tell you about that mistake, so you don't have to make it. I mean, but I think also it's a part of the progress to make some mistakes,
definitely,
to grow. So if you get told you can't make this mistake and you can't take this failure, you don't grow at all. So, but what I think it's interesting, how did you get the motivation to talk to people in public when you're depressed? Because I'm like, if I'm depressed, I'm just like, oh God, leave me alone. I don't need anything. I don't need to see any people. I don't want to talk.
The motivation came from that these are random people who can maybe tell me something that is not emotionally attached to me. So the motivation came because I thought they're not emotionally attached to me. That I think this was the main drive, to get a perspective of some other random people who I don't know. And that might spark something in me, because, when you talk to your parents, to your siblings, to the rest of the family, they're more emotionally attached to you. So at home, I was like, leave me alone. And with my friends, I was just like pretending that everything in my life is perfectly fine. But then I was like walking through the streets for hours and just talking to random people, mostly much older than me, because I knew that they would have something to say that I would not know. Like the young people, of course, they don't care that much, because if some random guy comes up to them, and it was you say I'm older than you, it was before the time of social media, so there was no like people knowing, okay, when someone comes up with a cam and they talk to you and they have a recording, it was just like going to these people and say, hey, tell me about yourself. It was just like getting to know these people, and from the conversation taking something positive out of it that would motivate me to go further.
Yeah.
Because one other thing is my parents, like back then we were like around, what was it, 98, 99. They didn't believe in going to therapies.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty common sense in the older generations.
Yeah, because they were like, I'm not going to send you to a therapist and other people will then say, oh, your son is crazy, you know? So this was the main thing. It wasn't like, okay, maybe you should go there and talk to them. It was more like, if you go there, people might point the finger at our family and say, oh, this boy must be crazy.
I mean, like, my mom and my dad had the same kind of opinion about therapies. It was like, okay, depression is not a thing. This whole trauma shit is not a thing. And I constantly tried to explain them what it means to have these bag of emotions inside of me, and how it is hard to deal with it, and how I struggle with getting out of bed in the morning just because my head is telling me that I'm useless, because my head is telling me that I can't do anything, and I'm like thinking I cannot make it in life. And now she is like in a situation where she sees what it means to be out of the world, you know, out of the working context, out of the whole process of capitalism and shit. And now she is like always depressed too, you know. Now every time she tells me, yeah, now I know what you feel. And I'm like, no, that's worse, mom. You know. But hers is worse.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Not mine. And yeah,
but she kind of now understands what you've been through, or where you have been at that moment in time of your life.
Yeah. And since then, like since the whole cancer thing, it's like 3 years ago, the diagnosis. Since that, she and I just got closer.
Of course, yeah.
Like every day it gets closer and closer and closer. And I had a hard time, you know, because in my youth I was a horrible kid. You know, I did criminal shit. I was against authorities. I still am against authorities, but I'm just covering it a bit, and I'm just staying in lanes.
Okay.
You know?
Why were you like such a horrible kid? What was like missing?
I don't know what was missing, but I mean I was aggressive, I was stealing, I was
just like, naturally like that.
Yeah. Okay. I was dealing. My parents did nothing wrong. You know, if we talk about, if some criminal people talk about their parenthood,
yeah,
they're just like, that was bad and that was bad. But I can't say anything about that because my parents were pretty perfect every time. They did nothing wrong. It was my decision to be an asshole, basically. And it was my decision to be not an asshole in the future then. And I mean, the only thing I can point my finger on, but it's not their fault. We had no money. We're pretty basically poor.
So they say sometimes when you're broke, you burst out in a different way and express yourself because something materialistic might be missing in your life as a child. As a grown up, you have a different view of it, but like,
I mean, you know, I was like in class, and for example, after the Christmas holidays, and every kid got this whole bunch of presents, and I was there like with my one present, which I was happy about the moment I got it, but then I saw like 5 kids get presents for like 500 euros. And I'm like, okay, I'm shit. I have nothing, you know. And then I just got jealous off of it. And I was like, okay, I need to make money on my own to buy my own shit.
Okay.
And what do you do when you're just like when you're constantly thinking about criminal shit, you start to steal, you start to deal.
It's interesting how you viewed the things, because when we, like our family, when we came to Germany and we had our first Christmas, I think each of us got just a bar of chocolate, which I was so happy about, because in our country there was no chocolate though. So when I saw like the rest of the class, they had new shoes, new outfits, and all of these things, it didn't mean anything to me.
I don't know. You know, I mean,
I
that's
think
what I meant when I said I was a horrible kid. You know, because I wasn't thankful at all. Like,
yeah, maybe it comes from how and where you grew up. Maybe if you would have been in the same situation, then you would have viewed the things different. But you grew up in Germany where you were surrounded by everything that
rich
was
people.
Yeah, kind of, because we in our country, we had electricity for 1 hour a day. It was in 12 in the morning until 1 in the morning. Like, it was just for 1 hour, and that was it.
When did you came to Germany?
96.
96.
Yeah.
Right. How old were you?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know, you know, like now it just turned, you know, my brothers and sisters, like all of my siblings, I've got 4.
Nice. Okay.
Were thankful back then, but now that my family is having money, like
They view the things different.
now they are just unthankful. You know, they get a lot of shit and they get money all the time, and they just take and take and take and take. And I really love my siblings, you know, they also know it, but now I'm just like, my mom want to give me money, and I'm like, no, I don't need anything.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because I think now that I grew up and I'm older, I just think it's I'm more thankful for the days I get with my mom and with my dad and my whole family, and I don't need these materialistic things. It's not that important anymore.
Which is true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even back then, when they had all the, where was it again? Like, when they got into their graves, like, with all the gold and everything, like they took all the gold, but like the body was just like,
we're all naked.
Yeah, that's
we're all
it.
naked in the end. Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know what I should do with like 200 euros if my mom dies tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, you can take. I told her that she can take all of my money. She can take all of my rap things. She can basically take my whole life and just put me in some 9-to-5 shit, and I would be happy if she is healthy, because things turned.
Yeah, like, you can buy everything with money, but not health and life.
I mean, you can if you have a shitload,
to a certain point, though.
Yeah.
Till a certain point, and then after that it's done. Like,
yeah. I mean, do you know about Rockefeller?
yeah, of course.
The old Rockefeller got 5 heart surgeries.
Yeah.
He got 5 new hearts.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's totally crazy. Yeah.
But at the end,
he died nevertheless. But I mean, like, he was 96 or something.
Yeah.
You know?
But some people don't even need any surgery, and they live about 150 years old. So it's about the mindset and the lifestyle that you choose to be healthy and to have a long life.
Yeah. Exactly.
So tell me more about your rap music right now.
What do you want to know?
Who does produce it all?
I produce it most of the time on my own.
Okay.
But I have a lot of co-producers. As every artist, I also buy beats from YouTube producers.
Okay.
I mean, I search for it. I find a beat which I like, and then I just write. I just write the producer. Yeah, can I buy a lease, or I buy it over BeatStars, and I just record, do all the mixing, mastering stuff on my own. That's what I do every time on my own. Yeah, And that's pretty much how I do my songs with Cubase, because we are Cubase brothers. At this point, I have to say, rude note, I don't like Ableton. Yeah.
Right now, he's not here. He's at the back. I think he's in the studio right now.
Working with Ableton.
Ableton, yeah. I mean, Cubase is much smoother and nicer though, but whatever though. But you do mixing and mastering also professionally, or is it just for yourself?
I'm an engineer, yeah. That's what I make like the most of my money out of it.
Okay, nice.
How about you?
I do everything by myself though. Like the first album that I drop every album like as singles, because I'm an artist, so like in the sense of painting and digital artist, so I like to have each song to have a cover. So when you go on my Spotify or wherever, you just have like a gallery of pictures.
Yeah, same thing with me. I mean, I do my covers also on my own.
Okay.
And I like to release a lot of singles with a lot of new cover arts. And but what I love is to have a compact tape.
Yeah.
You know, like the old school mixtape. I love that. It's something on Spotify now which is called waterfall release.
Okay.
Like you release a single, and 2 weeks later you release the next single, but with the recent single again. Okay. So you have like a small EP.
I didn't know that is a new update.
No, you could do that like 1 year ago, but now they just say it like if you do that, you just don't promote your new song.
Yeah, also the old one.
But okay. Also the old one, and then you can do it up to 4 songs, and then it's just like an EP.
Okay.
Which you haven't promoted as an EP. It's pretty much.
I didn't know about that.
Just to get streams, actually.
Yeah, of course. It's all about the streams.
Spotify pays us horrible.
Of course. Not just Spotify though, but like they're famous for it. So yeah,
they don't like me anyway. So.
Why?
Yeah. Just let me say that the support and I am not the best friend.
Are you in the support of Spotify? You and Spotify?
Yeah. The support of Spotify is not my best friend. And if I talk, if there's anything going on with my releases, which is not predictable, it's a bunch of incompetent persons and they don't help.
Yeah, I mean, like the owner was from LimeWire, right? So
actually, I don't know.
I think that's what I know. I think he started LimeWire or something, and then he went over to make like real money. Anyhow, yeah, back to the releasing thing. So I used to paint a lot, and I used to had art exhibitions. And as you know, as an artist, life doesn't pay. So I went just fully digital, and that's why when I want people, when they go on my Spotify or wherever account, that they see a lot of art on there. So they have visually something, and then they can listen to it. It will, like, it's all intertwined into each other. But that's why some of my projects take long until I release them, because I'm not happy with the cover art until I do the mixing, the mastering, and all of that takes so much time. Yeah. It's like time consuming if you have a job, and if you do all this at once is not really possible though.
But I don't feel like mixing and mastering on my own vocals is taking a lot of time, because I know my frequencies. It's more time eating if a customer comes and I need to put on a new chain, a new mix chain and a new vocal chain if he records with me, and then I just try to get my way into his vocal, and I try to put my mind out of my vocal, because I know my frequencies. Yeah. And then I'm just like, okay, basically between that and that point, and now it takes like 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God,
Yeah, I mean, like if you have one set up the vocal chain for yourself is different.
Yeah.
This is what I learned way too late. So I was always like setting up a new vocal chain every time, and I was like, well, what was the last one that I was using?
Every project.
Yeah, every
oh my
project
God.
at the beginning is what I did. So
Oh my God.
and then I thought about it. I was like, I can just save the vocal chain, right? And then yeah, but it took a long time for me like to figure that out. It was just sometimes the most simplest things don't come into my mind, and I just think too complicated.
Presets are the savior of everything.
That's what I do with Photoshop and everything else, but this is what I didn't for like my recordings.
Yeah, but if you want to save time and you want to get your head, you want to keep your head clear, then it's better to have presets.
Definitely.
It basically just saves time. You can do a lot more in that time. And now I do like 3 songs in a time when I did 1 song like 4 years ago. You know, so you just get faster.
You know what was also my issue was too many plugins out there. Way too many plugins. So I was trying this one out, and then I went on social media. I was like, oh, the new let me try this one. So for I think my first album, for every song I used different plugins. So it was I think about 12 songs or so. So 12 times different plugins just to check them all out.
I mean, it's a way to get into your own sound.
Yeah,
I would say that. But you don't have the consistency over this 12 songs.
No, I don't. I didn't.
But I don't think it's that important to have consistency over singles. It's just important to have a sound consistency over like an entire tape.
Yeah,
if you do an album, it has to be like kind of
the
similar.
same way. Or, yeah, of course.
Like kind of similar in every song. And but if you do singles, you know, I can do a rock song tomorrow, and it has shit to do with my recent release, and you know, so maybe sometimes it's also good just to try out new plugins, try out new shit, and yeah.
But after all these tryouts, I went back to the main plugins that I was using. So it was all for nothing, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that because you're experienced then.
Definitely.
You know, okay, this plugin was not mine. This plugin was not that nice. It doesn't sound nice, or not the way I need to put my sound into. And yeah, so it's just all about experiencing new stuff and new sounds. And if you get this in your mind, you can just throw some things out and put some things in, and that's how you progress your sound.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What else can we expect from you in the future?
There's a lot of shit going on. I mean, you have seen my TikTok. I'm constantly throwing out content right now.
I have to say that I deleted TikTok because I had not enough space on my phone. So,
but you know, it's just you need to put something out on TikTok now, because otherwise you just don't reach people.
You waste your time with it. Yeah,
you waste like audience. You know, you could have like 100, 200, 300 listeners more if you promote your song on TikTok. So I try to put on this TikTok shitload. I don't like to make TikTok content at all. I mean, it's like,
man, you look very happy when you do it, though.
Yeah, you know, because you have to look like you are happy. But after I recorded my TikToks, I'm like, I don't like this shit. And then I just go, okay, but now I can use this TikTok for YouTube Shorts, for Reels. You know, you can just take it for every platform now, because like everyone has a TikTok feature now. I don't know why, but somehow they all have now. I mean, it started with TikTok Musically, then it was like Snapchat. Whoever uses Snapchat for that, YouTube Shorts, Reels. Now Threads is going to put reels into the Instagram
Yeah, I know.
threads.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but okay, go with it.
It's just profits, man.
Yeah.
It's just...
And also Facebook has reels.
Yeah.
I'm still on Facebook. I don't know why, but yeah.
No, I use Facebook because of the family, because they're all using
True.
Facebook. So
True.
And also to be reminded of birthdays.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. There's a lot of singles coming, like in February, like 9th of February. There's a collab with 2 other artists, KK and Tris. And after that, like 2 or 3 weeks later, there's another single of mine alone. And there's a lot of songs coming. There's a lot of content on Instagram and TikTok coming. There's a lot of YouTube shit coming. And I'm just prepared. You know?
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? Can we expect a lot of songs?
Yeah, definitely. I was releasing every month a single last year until I think September. Yeah, and then my hard drive broke, and then I had to postpone everything.
Your what?
My hard drive, my main hard drive.
Okay. Oh shit.
So then I had to, reinstall everything. So, and it was about, I think, 300 programs.
Could you save anything?
Yeah, the good thing is, like, I've learned from my mistakes. So I have 6 hard drives on my PC that I can, like, put the project on this one, the sounds on this one, and so on and so forth. So when the main hard drive breaks, it's just the programs. Like just the programs, about 300 programs that I'm using, and then I had to reinstall everything. And I was kind of then down at that moment. A bit of depression hit me, especially also the months of November and December. I'm just like, it's the weather, I think.
It's like winter depression.
Yeah, definitely. I always feel like we should be like animals, just like have a like winter sleep for 2 months. And I think I have about 19 songs still to release. And yeah, I have to mix and master them and then just put them out.
I'm waiting for that one. I can definitely say that. Because you told me what's going on. Nevertheless, it's of course I'm going on stage a lot. I'm a lot at the DNA events. I'm a lot of at other open mics. I'm booked like in a few cities for like March and April.
Which cities?
The one is Hanover.
Nice, okay.
And the other one is, it's like nearby Erfurt.
Okay.
It's not Erfurt, but nearby.
Nearby, okay.
If I say the name, no one knows. So
the people who are living there, though. But
that's Bad Hersfeld.
What?
Bad Hersfeld.
Okay, you know how it sounded like?
Yeah.
Bad Asphalt.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, that's like 2 years from now. I'm on stage.
Okay.
And I feel like it progresses with every time. And it's a lot of fun to play with the audience, to be on stage and just be there, shiny, happy, presenting what you got, presenting what you can do with your vocals, and get new contacts with it. And there's a line of a rapper which I really love since I'm like 16. He's called Private Paul.
Okay.
And he's got a line, it's in German. Egal ob's eine Splashbühne oder eine Europalette im Hinterhof ist, wenn das echte Leben in den Hintergrund tritt, bereue ich immer noch nichts.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to translate that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
For the German speaking people, you got it. For the English ones, just put it into translate.
Exactly. It won't make that much sense, maybe, but
it's basic. I mean, I can say it's basically just, it's every time I'm on stage, the reality fades away.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's what I think it's the most beautiful feeling of being a musician.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that I could could have experienced this not earlier. Because I mean, I make music, I create music since I'm 16, and I was on stage first time with 22.
Wow. Okay.
So
But it's still good though.
yeah, but I mean, you know,
I
you
know what you
always
mean,
want to
but
have
yeah.
it. You always want to have what you can't have.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
I
But,
must say, in that sense, like, I'm very grateful that I think it was Daniela who wrote me back then on Instagram. If I make music and if I want to just come along and check it out. I was on stage at the age of 16 till 18, 19. But back then I was doing theater. So it was different. It was really nice. I was always had some shows. And in the music industry, it was much more cold. So I got a lot of bad experience. So I got distance from all the live shows and everything. So for years, I wasn't doing anything. I was just in the studio doing my things, imagining how I would be on stage. I went to a few live events, but it wasn't as heartwarming as it is in DNA. So I always felt somehow betrayed. So I was like, just leave it. So when Daniela wrote me, I was like, let me check it out. But it's probably the same like everywhere else. But then I got to the place and I checked it out. I was like, okay, I'm feeling the vibe. And then I went back on stage after, I would say, 10 years or so. And yeah, it's getting better and better, because back then when I was doing like theater, it was completely different. I was more open to the things. And right now in the music, I'm much more a bit still like closed. And what Ali told me is, your beats are funky. Like, people have to get, he said the people have to somehow get used to the tone and the sound.
You know, you have that classic boom bap sound, but in modern.
Yeah.
You know, and I really like that, because it's not just taking the 90s stuff and being 90s. You're progressing the 90s context. And
Nice,
I really
thank
like
you.
that, because, you know, the 90s stuff, some would consider it as outdated. But I would say, if you do that kind of hip-hop music, you have just to put it into the future, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
And if you do that, it slaps.
Yeah.
And then everyone likes it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know OG Kimo.
Yeah, of course.
He did modern boom bap shit, like in his album Man beißt Hund, and before that too, and it just slaps. You know, it's just like, God damn, is it good? And I went to a concert of him, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been.
Nice.
And I was there with Lena.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Nice.
And so props for you. I really like your music, and I think you have a good spirit on stage. You have a good appearance.
Thank you.
And
yeah, but I just have to say, like, when I look at the crowd, I feel like, okay, they're trying to understand somehow the sound. And after a while, when I go into it, then some of them like vibe with it and say, oh, that was pretty cool. But like, when you go on stage, is the first second you go on stage, like, the people just jump up, because like the feeling, I think, of the beats and the rhythm is just different.
Yeah, but sometimes I also feel like, okay, they need to listen to it. And if I start rapping, then they're just like, oh my God, what is he telling us? They're just like, someone who listens to me the first time, he's just like trying to understand what I say.
Yeah.
You know, because if you aren't a native German speaker, you get shit of my lyrics. You know, you're just standing there like, okay, he uses a lot of words I don't know. And I mean, I use a lot of words I don't know exactly. So
but while you write, you say, let me Google that. Let me check this one out.
It sounds nice. Somehow I have it in my head, but I don't know exactly what it means. And then I Google it and I'm like, oh, it's matching. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's good. That's good.
Like, okay, it's
like the synonym. Well, okay, that's it. Okay, that's
you know, I mean, I would consider myself as a really good writer, but there's always something you can improve. And if you don't see that you can improve yourself in many ways, you step on the same page.
Of
every
course,
time.
yeah. You get stuck.
Yeah, you get stuck. And that's what I experience. Like over all the years I've been in the hip hop scene, there are a lot of rappers who think they're like God. And if you see it like that, you just don't get progress. If you don't want to learn from other artists, you know, because you can do things in your rap which I can't do. You can teach me something and I can teach you something. And that was the whole hip hop spirit, you know, each one teach one. And sometimes I see these 40-year-old rappers who grew up with this each one teach one. I mean, I'm 23. The day I started to rap, hip hop wasn't hip hop anymore, you know. And that's what I think is pretty sad, because there's a lot of enemy ship, I would call it that, and a lot of bad spirits beside the hip hop artists in the scene.
I mean, like it was also always about like a competition thing, like dissing each other and who's better and who's not.
But competition doesn't mean you have
to get stuck.
No, competition doesn't mean you have to hate all the other artists.
Definitely no.
Behind the walls, exactly. You know, if you are behind, if we are just battling us, yeah. If we say we're gonna make a rap battle now, I'm gonna shake hands after that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If I lose, if I win, nevertheless.
Yeah.
You know, and often it's just now the persons are battling, and after that they just hate each other. And that's not the way I understand hip hop, and I don't understand the movement at all. And
was it more in the German rap sense, you mean, like in the German rap world?
Yeah. I mean, what I experienced, you know, the German rap world is pretty much jealous.
Okay.
It's like overall everyone is jealous of the other. If I got a studio, they're not happy that I got a studio.
Okay.
They're just complaining that they don't have the studio. And I don't know why, because I don't think that way. I thought that way like with 16, you know, when you're young and you're a bit dumb. But after a while, you should just get adult.
And maybe now some people, like they don't progress forward, they go backwards. So maybe that's the thing. But I just do everything in English because this is the language that I grew up on first, like listening to music. And I have to say, I personally didn't like. I was trying German rap for a while, and people told me that I'm good, but I didn't. It's just too edgy for me, the language. But if you're like when I listen to you, when you do it is perfect. But when I do myself, it's like a foreign thing.
It's also a question of what matches your character.
Definitely, you know?
Yeah. And if you grew up with English, it's just more fluent. Even if you speak German, then fluently, it's nevertheless it's more fluent in English. So if you tell me something in English, I know what you mean better, like in the rap context. You know, I mean, I've never heard German rap of you, I think.
No, I was just like just done demo wise, and I was like, no, I don't like it. I don't feel it.
But it's like when I do English parts, you know, you can tell the difference, not in the flow and not in the like not if it's not on point, because it's not on point. It's just about the spirit I transfer throughout.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
you know, and
you have to feel it to deliver it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say that you wouldn't feel it in German, but it's just different. And somehow,
like a distant cousin.
Yeah. And somehow you don't like it, you know, yourself. Like, I mean, I can imagine that your German rap slaps too. And that other the audience would say, wow, that's nice. But if you don't feel it, just don't make it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because back then when German rap came along the first time, I was like, I don't like this. I mean, back then it was also very different, very underground and very like rough. It was not polished as it's now. Now, right now, it's a bit too polished with all the auto tune and stuff. But like,
now there's no character in most of the public stuff, in most of the
mainstream
stuff. And you have to go to the underground to experience German rap music in full.
Definitely.
Because there are a lot of good artists which only have like 500 listeners.
Yeah.
And if you find them and you listen to them, you're just like, wow, how can he have just 500 listeners? You know, I mean, every time I'm on stage and someone asks for my Spotify, they look at my Spotify and they're like, you just have 1,000 listeners?
I know, man. That's the thing. Like, was it yesterday when I was here? I talked to some people and one of them was like, what is your Instagram? And I gave him my Instagram and he was like, 700 followers? And then we checked out the Spotify and he was like,
Yeah,
and then he told me that I'm faking a few of the streams because some of the streams are having 16,000 or 20,000. He was like, how can it be that you have like just this rate of followers but this many streams? I was like, hey.
Then he doesn't know how Spotify works, you know, because I had times when I had like 4,000-5,000 listeners on Spotify. That's when they put you into playlists. You get that for.
And I was surprised about a few songs when they put it on playlists.
And you're just like into that playlist for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And in this time, you make like 40,000-50,000 streams, and then you get out of that playlist. And what it is like, if you then just take a break or you just don't release for a while, they just go away.
You know, when I released my first songs, I suddenly had like after a week 500 followers on Spotify. I was like, wow. 2 days after that, it went back to 79.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like Spotify is pretty fast, you know. It's like everything on social media, and fame is just a projection of now.
Of course.
I can be fame today. That doesn't mean that I'm fame tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's how this whole star thing actually goes now. It's not you wake up one morning and your song hits, you know. Now it's one song hits a bit, the other song flops, then you got a big hit, but besides the big hit, no one cares for your music. So you just have to figure out how to produce constantly tracks which are performing good but not perfect.
Yeah.
Because this perfect shit is just getting you the followers who stay for like one song.
Just for the perfect shit. Yeah. You know what I love about the old school is when you didn't know what they're doing now currently. And then they dropped a project and then you knew about the things that they're doing and then they just like disappeared again. But right now on social media, you just have to, like, people want to stay on point. Just like, okay, what is he doing right now? What is the next project? What, you know what that's what I like about, for example, Kendrick or back then Dr. Dre and all of them, because they didn't post stuff on social media because there was no social media. So you were just waiting for MTV or Viva or whatever to drop a new song, and it was much more interesting to me instead of just like being constantly like they shove content into your face, like, and see this is what I'm doing right now. I think that's why I personally don't post that much, because I just like, I don't feel it.
But that's the problem. You can do that when you're big. You can't do that if you're small.
I know.
Because I mean, if I would be like that, like how do you say that? Mysterious about your music, and you try to keep something behind, the people just leave.
I know, that's
the people
thing.
just say, okay, he puts no effort in his music and in his social media thing, so we just go to the next person, because there's a big wave of new artists right now. You know, like every second a new song drops. like if you say
Yeah,
it
of
that way.
course. And that's why I thought like we need a platform like this. And thanks to DNA that we have like this conversation right now, that we can talk about who we are, what we do, so people have a better understanding of the projects that we approach and where we want to go, who we truly deeply are, and get to know each other better. Because this will like maybe make some people tune in and say, oh, okay, so it's not just one project and then that's it. Because everyone is going through life and having their own issues and problems and so on and so forth. But like after a while, like you it's just like the seasons. It can't be summer the whole time.
I also would say, like, you know, it's somehow better now because everyone can produce music. But that's what I hate about it too, because you know
Everyone
there are a
can
lot
produce.
of there are a lot of persons who tell you they are producers, they tell you they are mixed mastering engineers, and they do shit, you know, and then you try to get your way through this whole muck of thousands of people who are copying the biggest mainstream shit, and you try to make your own stuff and nobody listens to it.
Definitely.
And then you get into that mind of comparing yourself to all the copycats and why they are making it and you are not.
Yeah.
And then you're, okay, should I just copy the others? Should I copy the copy?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it functions, you know? And yeah, then your head just constantly thinks about that shit. And you have a hard time to be free in your music and in your poetry and in your just artsy mind.
Of course. Do you know Hobson? Hobson?
Yeah.
You know, when he was imitating this mumble rap, he didn't say a word, but like the songs were slapping and it had a million views. Like it was just it's so funny. So I thought about like for a while when I was frustrated with the scene. I was like, what if I just drop a whole album like that? Like people would tune in, but that's again like just then you have a peak, it would just fall down again. So you have to stay true to yourself and to your art to grow.
That's what I needed to learn, you know, because now it's growing. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing constantly. Slow, but constant.
Yeah.
And that's why I love now, because I see there are a lot of people listening to my songs in general. And if I talk to them, they get me into the feeling that what I do is the right thing. And it makes me more happy than every money I could receive from the music.
Definitely,
because I see it reaches people,
and you stay true to yourself.
Yeah, and I did believe in myself that I can make my music the way I want to make it, and now I see it gets profit. You know, profit not just in the money way, but also in the audience way, because they say, "Hey, it slaps. I get feelings out of it. I understand what you say. I have the same issues or nearly the same issues, and it helps me a lot going through it." And
that's the most beautiful thing, when people can connect.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, people need to connect to the artist to understand their music and what the music represents. It's not just the music, it's also paintings and writing and poetry and all of that, because sometimes people are judging you before they even know you. So they look at you, say, "Oh, all these tattoos, the necklace, and he thinks he's cool," or whatever. They don't know, but like what's behind all of it. And that's why we need
Jesus.
That's why we need a place like that to showcase who we are, what we do, and that people have a better connection to us. And I enjoyed the whole conversation right now. Anything else that you want to add?
Should I do promotion?
Do whatever you want, man. We are here at DNA. That's what we do. Just do it.
We're two DNA creators. We'll just say it like that. You can find me on Spotify and Deezer and Co. with Parose, Parose, and on Instagram, of course, and TikTok, it's the same. Parose _ King Rose. For the German ones, it's Parose
we're gonna
King
write it.
Rose.
Yeah, we're gonna write it, right? Yeah, description.
And the description or something like that. Do you want to make promotion for yourself?
Well, I'm Jear Perry, and sorry,
Jear, not Jaw.
Yeah, not Jaw or not Jerry or whatever. I don't know why people have. Yeah, Ali always says Jerry, and he says, yeah, it's good because it's Jear and Perry. I just mixed them. It's Jerry. I was like, okay, whatever. But it's Jear Perry. By the way, what does your name mean?
It's just a combination of my old artist name, which was Panic MC.
Yeah.
I already told that. And I wanted to keep something of the old name, which was PA. And then I was like, what do I like the most, actually? And I was like, I love roses. So let's go
There's
with
your soft
Parose.
side, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, you know,
I mean, it's
also
nice.
the hard ones.
Yeah.
Also, the hard ones have a soft side.
Yeah, definitely.
And now I'm just soft.
Nice,
I try my
nice.
best to be. But yeah, it's not a big story. It's just that.
Okay, what I always wonder, what does this mean? Like
That's
the logo.
DMG. Like this. That's DMG, Dago Money Gang. Was like the first collective of 5 rappers, which are living in Frankfurt, Köln, Aachen, and Berlin. And there was like, I can give props to them. Young Million, I would love to see you making music again. Cody, which is now like a finance person, and I really love him.
He used to rap then, or what?
He used to rap, but now he's a finance person, and he's a lot in suits, and you know, he's just.
But
like,
that would be amazing if you would like drop a song right now with suits and just like drop the money. Okay.
I tried to convince him.
Okay.
But, maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Cody, you know that, and still making music. He was at the Lincoln Co event too.
Okay.
Came out of Frankfurt to support me. 03. And my recent song is with him, like Uhrzeit. Oh god, oh my god.
We're gonna cut this out now.
That's fine. My recent song is Uhrwerk, and he did the hook. And I really love him. He's a brother. He helped me through a lot. And yeah, then it's just with me. And that was Dago Money Gang.
So you came up with this group, you all together, and now everyone is doing something else besides 2 of you still doing music.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Wow, okay.
He got a deal now.
Wow, okay.
I mean, I love that he got the deal.
Yeah.
Because he really deserves it.
Okay.
And he went through a lot of shit too. So I'm really glad for him. I'm really happy for him. And brothers forever.
Nice.
Yeah.
So again, my name is Jear Perry, Jear, and then Perry. The name means, like, it's my true name. That's what my parents gave me. Jear means evolution, and Perry in our language means angel. So I'm thinking, like, if you put them together, is like the new evolution where I come in and save everything. Sometimes I don't see myself like that, but whatever. And you can find me anywhere. It's Jear Perry, all written together. It's down in the description. And new music is coming. This podcast is coming, and DNA is going to blow up, and we're going to turn this thing big. So thank you for having me. Thank you for having you. That was nice, though.
That was nice. That was a perfect close-up.
That was a perfect one.
Hide everything until the day we die.